Hey guys, wanted to make a quick video on what's going on is when my PC is under load, my graphics card is really noisy and I get a bit of coil whine. It's not that old, it's a GTX 970 Phantom, so yeah, it shouldn't really be doing it. So I'm going to try a few things that I found online to get rid of it. First though, I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to be using 3D Mark to show this. So we go to the 5-strike test, and I'll go over to the PC and wait for it to pick up. Wait for it to start. Okay, it's loading. Have to excuse the crude cable management. I've just upgraded the motherboard and the case. A little bit closer here, I think. It's just changing tests now. Steps it up every time, I believe. So you can hear it go away there. That coil whine at least. And here it comes back. Not sure if you can hear that. It's changing tests again. You can hear it go away again there. Let's see what's happened. So, what we're mainly interested in, I reckon, is this. Our GPU got up to 69 degrees there. It's probably probably hotter than I want it running. And especially since that's when it sort of picks up. I'd rather have it down somewhere lower there. So let's we'll cut over and see what we might be able to do about that. Right, so we've got the side cover off and spun around. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do the cable management while we're here. Though I've noticed, see drop that. You see the hard drive bay here. I'm going to remove that because I'll tell you why. I was in a bit of a rush when I built it and I didn't really do any of this. Once I take that out, you can see there that it's completely opened that up and exposed my front fans here to allow some air across the top of the graphics card there. So that won't be going back in. That hard drive is faulty, which I clipped in and then remembered it was faulty, so that's coming out. So I've just got this one which will go down here. Not going to be any problem, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so we're done with the cable management there. As good as I can do it anyway. So what I've done is I've spun around the SSD and the hard drive so that the plugs are actually coming on from the back, so they can't be seen. Because I'm an idiot, I didn't buy a modular power supply, which I should have when I bought that a while back. So I've got way more sort of junk cables here, which I've managed to push through and hide on the other side at least, so they're not coiled up here, but it would have been nicer just to get rid of them altogether. And also these are ugly, yellow and black. I don't like that CPU cooler cable either. And there's the power supply for the CPU. So as you can see, yeah, we've taken that drive bay out, and you can feel the air sort of coming through where you put your hand here now, which you couldn't before. I did want to show you something. Dust on these components. Quick easy way to get rid of that is just a dry clean paintbrush. So if there's too much, you're going to want to sort of follow it with a vacuum cleaner, something like that, to pick it up. But just for this, because I cleaned everything else, for some reason I didn't do this. Just for this, I'm not going to worry about that. Back there too. I did also notice that my GPU here wasn't actually making as much noise as I thought. The CPU fan, which is already, as you can see, it's just a standard AMD cooler. Piece of crap, really. So I've got another one on the way already, which would be a water cooler because of the positioning of the RAM slots here. You can see that flush with the top of that cooler right now, so if I wanted to get something bigger, it's just not going to happen. So anyway, we'll turn it on and see where we're at. We'll put the side case back on though, because that's the way we did it the first time. Let's see what happens. Right, so bottom line, after pulling it apart, it was pretty clear that most of the noise is coming from that CPU cooler, which is already lined up to be replaced. As I said, that's a factory one on there. But up here, I've got room for a 280mm radiator with 140mm fans, which is coming, Corsair H15, I think, which should take care of that. The larger the fan, the slower it's got to move to sort of move the air. So two larger fans instead of one smaller fan should be actually a lot quieter, even though you wouldn't think so. But despite that, with the cable management and just removing that hard drive cage that was in there, we've actually, general operating temperature is about 5 degrees cooler than what it was. So we've gotten something, but unfortunately it's not enough to sort of keep that CPU fan down to a speed that'll be a bit quieter. So we're going to run the Firestrike again. I'm just loading, just to see whether it does make any difference to the noise, and I'm hoping that we're going to get cooler GPU temperatures from that hard drive bay being removed. We've got some good airflow over that now. So that's just loading there. Straight away, I'm hearing noise. Let's put it near the back here again where we were and see what we get. Just putting my ear at the back there, I can hear that the fan you can hear revving up is a CPU cooler now. That's all that I can hear. It's just loading up the last test, I think, now. Right, that's done. Now to me that does actually sound a bit quieter. I don't know if you can tell on this phone recording. As you can see, we peaked at 69 degrees before, if you can read that. Get that back. This time we've peaked at 66 degrees. So just that has given us a bit of a cooler GPU. Once that CPU cooler is no longer pumping heat into the chassis of the PC, that's going to help it as well. So we'll leave this one here. Yeah, we have gained a little something, but unfortunately I was going to do stuff with the GPU cooler to help quieten it down until I realised that that's not actually most of the noise. The GPU isn't making any more noise than it should. So the other fans in the chassis are supposed to be silent fans, which I believe means they're not actually silent, but they have to be under a certain decibel to be called silent. So yeah, when we get this other CPU cooler, we'll do a video on putting that in, which should be quite easy. They're just a sealed unit these days, I believe, so it'll all come in sort of one piece, and I just sort of clamp it to the CPU, clamp it, screw it up to the top of the chassis, and we'll see what we get. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. So actually one more thing, I realised I never actually went over what's in here, so I'll quickly do that. First of all, the case is an AeroCool 1000, which has the ability of either these two fans in the front or a 280mm radiator. Same up the top, and 140 or 120 at the back. Those fans came with it. The power supply, Cooler Master Thunder 700 watt. There's a Hitachi 2TB hard drive there for my data, and you're not going to be able to see much of it, but there is a Corsair Force LS SSD, 256 gig. That is my capture card there for the PlayStation is currently plugged into it, so I can record that. Graphics is a Gainwood GTX 970 Phantom. CPU AMD FX 8350, it's a 8-core 4GHz, and the RAM is Corsair Vengeance 1600 MHz, that's 4 sticks of 4 gig, so 16 gig of that. That will also be going soon. I'll be replacing it with 2133 MHz, and it'll be Kingston HyperX Fury 32 gig. Yeah, so that's about it. Just thought I'd add that because I never sort of mentioned any of that, and I thought maybe people might be curious. Oh, the motherboard. That is a Gigabyte 990FX Gaming, which when I swapped from my ASRock board, which was the ASRock 990FX Extreme 3 that was in it, I noticed a considerable boost in the overall speed of the system just from that. So really happy with that board. Anyway, once again, I'll see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.